Got some crazy talk today.
Well, we always have crazy talk, but this is focused crazy talk.
Oh, from the nuts.
From the nuts.
Quotes.
So, thanks for watching the show. Thanks for telling a friend.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. If you're listening, it's probably better to listen. We're doing conspiracies today because of a comment.
Thanks, Ray.
We give our fans what they want. So I thought I would start with kind of like a psychological basis for why conspiracies tend to work.
Please tell me why, Doctor.
Okay, I shall. So the first reason...
Do you concur?
I do concur. I was going to call you surgeon, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
So the first reason why conspiracies are so popular, in my opinion, is because they allow for you to be smarter than everyone else. So if you're the one who's making the argument for the conspiracy, basically what you're saying is, I'm so smart, no one else can figure it out. No one else can figure it out. I figured it out. That's how smart I am. So it's a little hit to the ego. I can understand that. The second reason, I think, is because usually a conspiracy involves one group who has control over the entire world, basically.
Underlings.
Right. And that's a little more comforting than the knowledge that it's all chaos. That anything can happen at any time. Nobody has any say, really. We're all just kind of floating around, banging into each other. So if you think, oh, well, Dr. Evil's in control, at least you get a little bit of comfort in knowing that it's not chaos. Somebody is directing the shape of the world.
Uh-huh.
Number 3, conspiracies create communities around them. And there aren't a lot of things for us to connect with, culturally, socially.
Even though it's the most modern communication in the world. Like, it's easier to connect, but it's also harder to connect.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's strange times.
Conspiracies have this weird way of just creating like a family immediately. Oh, we're the ones that believe this.
You think that too?
Yeah.
I think that. We should get together and talk.
Exactly. And people don't mind connecting over a lie because Santa Claus, right?
Why not?
Every Christmas we all connect around a lie. Unless you believe in Santa Claus, and then I'm a liar. So, and the fourth
Sounds a
reason,
little Timmy.
Yeah, the fourth reason is conspiracies, Dustin, are big business. A lot of money to be made if you're willing to talk some shit and not make any sense.
Unless it's a real conspiracy that people don't believe in.
Yeah.
Then you're really trying to make it.
Then they would shut you down. So, like Alex Jones, for instance, has his entire career is built on creating conspiracies out of nothing. So, he's pretty popular. He's got a lot of followers, a lot of juice.
And he's very, very eccentric.
Yeah. He has this character thing that he's doing down. I always say he's either stupid or a liar.
I wonder if he's like that when there's not a microphone or camera around, or is it like just an alter ego that he just... It's a performance.
Yeah, it is a performance. Which brings up my next point, X-Files. I grew up on the X-Files. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. That is a conspiracy-based show. It was teaching everyone how to mistrust everything.
Did it run for like 21 seasons?
Yeah, it was pretty popular. I consider myself a Scully.
I have no idea how long it ran for. I think 10. 10. It makes...
They made 2 movies. Like, it's stretched for that long. And then there's Roswell. It's a tourist attraction, makes a lot of money for a place that wouldn't get a lot of tourists.
For what they say was nuclear radio waves, like, detecting thing.
Weather balloon? I don't know, something like that.
Like, I think Roswell was... They were developing new technology to detect if Russia was testing their nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
So weather balloon-y-ish-esque?
No, well, first of all, alien craft landed. I don't know what you're talking about, all this weather balloon nonsense. Clearly, we got microwaves because of that.
And don't forget, dummies falling from the sky, which were aliens.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, to recap real quick before we get into each individual conspiracy, it makes you think you're smarter than everybody else. It makes you feel comforted to know that someone's in control. It creates a community that you can then join, be a part of, and you can make some fucking money. And those are 4 pretty powerful reasons to drive any behavior whatsoever.
So what you're saying is we should make a conspiracy.
Yes, we should.
T-shirts.
Yes.
Next to-do list.
In the comments, let us know where we should go with our conspiracy. Aliens or whatever. So, There are two types of conspiracies. I've got them down to harmful and silly. I figure we'll go back and forth.
All right.
Okay, so first one up, let's just do Roswell. We started with Roswell. The theory, if you want to describe what they think happened.
I suppose it started with, what was it, a farm?
Yes.
Something, and he found a metal-ish device that was like papery thin, stronger than anything he's ever felt before, and like it would retain its shape after you moved it, so it would go back to its original shape, however it was. And then he turned it into like the base, and then they didn't know what it was, and must be aliens.
Yep. We get a couple of things from this. We get the idea of Men in Black comes from Roswell.
Oh.
These are the men in black suits, black ties, trying not to be noticed, but yet running shit. That came out of this Roswell thing. And the idea of secret government installations, which do exist, but probably aren't related to
Aliens?
Alien tech of any kind.
Oh, well, I believe all new tech is alien until, it becomes normalized.
Ooh,
but
yeah, Mr. Semantics.
Yeah.
It's true. I guess it's true. Can't argue it. So that's a silly one. Here's a harmful one, and one that I know you know a little bit about, and that would be 9/11.
9/11.
So the conspiracy behind 9/11
is that, I suppose, in the Pentagon, it was a missile that struck the one part of the facility that was reinforced for that sort of blast.
Right.
That I suppose that it was like they were running all sorts of like war games to deflect any sort of defense or confuse all the radar techs that were working in that day, so they didn't know if it was real or a test, because they would put up fake bleeps for whatever reasons.
Okay, yeah.
Passenger manifests were very small, like there's like a total of 200 people, but there was only like 64 people on board that day.
Okay.
It seems awfully...
Yeah.
Like it wasn't full. Like every flight I've ever been on, there might be one empty seat.
Right. It's fishy.
Yeah, and then you have, well, obviously that there has never been a building other than that one day from a fire collapsing.
Okay.
Not one time in history.
Yes.
And there are several fires that have happened in skyscrapers.
Yeah.
And people heard explosions after the fact, like the 4th of July. There was a whole plane missing, like the one that crashed in Pennsylvania. From people that were walking around, didn't see a single piece of airplane.
Right.
Just saw metal shards. And not one time in history has a plane crashed and evaporated.
Yeah.
Not one time in history.
Okay.
But apparently this time it happened twice in one day. And 3 buildings fell from fires, like a demolition destroyed them in the same day. And it's never happened before or since.
Yeah. So what would be the purpose of bringing the building? Who did the attacking?
Well, in the conspiracy, it would be the U.S. government.
Okay.
To cover up probably military funding, because apparently a lot of it was missing or whatever the case. There's lots, because like the CIA, there was like Wall Street, like files that, this is in Building 7 anyway, not the 2 original ones. What is in the main towers? Like it was all like money-based reasons. Like there was no other, like, I don't know why the CIA has like the second largest facility not in like its shared space with other. I feel like it needs to be its own site somewhere else, not in the city. But that's just me.
I'd imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's strange. Like the whole concept to me, it just seems like if you watch the video over and over again, like I've never toppled over Jenga and it comes straight down.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I've never once seen Jenga fall down on top of itself.
Yeah.
Pretty much perfectly.
And
I imagine that's what should have happened if things naturally occurred. Either it would fall one side or the other, because one side, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the fire would have had to have been perfectly in the center of the building and would have...
So it's like a controlled demolition.
Yeah.
Opposed to a freak accident.
Like when the Vegas hotels get demolished, it looked just like that.
It did. It did look a lot like that. So neither of us are scientists.
No, I am not.
No. And I've heard this before, and I'm not going to, because I can't have any expertise on this, but I think jet fuel is what they say is the reason why they fell that way.
And under ideal circumstances, the jet fuel burns at hot as 2,000 degrees. Under ideal situations with fuel getting added, not one big fireball and 90% of it's gone. Outside of the building.
So by doing this, I guess, false flag attack, which is what the conspiracy is claiming, the idea behind a false flag attack would be that in order to gain power or, like you said, money, funding.
I did forget this part.
Yeah.
The money gained from going to war. The trillions of dollars people spend during a war.
Yeah.
Maybe a bigger factor. And there was like billions of dollars of gold underneath the World Trade Center for whatever reason.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Billions of dollars worth of gold bricks. And they found a loaded up transport truck full of gold, empty. Like there was no one that was like scheduled to be driving it, no escort, like nothing. It was just a truck full of gold for whatever reason in a tunnel leaving the tower.
Yeah.
Why was it
fishy?
Seems fishy to me.
Yeah. I guess to take the counter, because that's what I'm in here to do.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't believe the government did
most of the time we're not in line with the conspiracy on any of these, but we are going to do a little devil's advocate because that's what we do.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of devil's advocate, and you won't know who's the devil and who's not.
Yeah, because you got to pay attention. So the other side of this would be we were surprised. There were 12 angry guys.
19.
Oh, and it was 19. Sorry, why did I get 12? 19 angry guys because I'm an idiot. 19 angry guys across the world away from us have been planning maybe the most pernicious, the most complex, open attack against America since Pearl Harbor.
Well, they did try in like the 90s to blow up
but this
the World
is
Trade Center.
Putting people in the country, training them how to fly a plane, taking over the plane, and then crashing jet airplanes into buildings. Nobody could have predicted this. I think they knew Osama bin Laden was trying to attack the United States, but who would have...
Well, he did declare in other videos before this that he wanted to hurt America.
Yeah, I think there's...
all intents purposes, I'm obviously not word for wording it, but hurt America. That's pretty much what he said.
It's terrifying to me to think that 19 people from the other side of the world could just decide to take airliners and crash them into buildings and nobody saw it coming. That's a terrifying thought. So if I can think, well, you know what? I bet Uncle Sam is the one who did this, because if Uncle Sam's in charge, at least I know I'm in a pretty good position being an American. So this conspiracy would play into that need for comfort at a time when we were all terrified. I was terrified. Everybody was terrified. We didn't know what was coming next. We didn't know if there was an attack the next day, the next month. Nothing. They hit us out of nowhere. Nobody had any idea.
What seemed like nowhere.
Yeah, what seemed like nowhere. But there had been a lot of planning. Osama bin Laden did not happen overnight. That's the saying we go.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's... Got anything else for 9/11?
I suppose, of conspiracies go, this might be a plausible one that I came up with it after watching all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they are obviously covering up stuff because there's no reason to, like, after being sued for, like, I don't know what they call them when they have to release classified information.
Yeah.
Why they would not want to, because it's been 20 years almost, and I think all the pertinent information is, all of the leads are either dead or no longer have towns to live in because we bombed them.
Yeah.
I can get why we don't want to change that we can't sue Saudi Arabia Because then just imagine all of the countries that want to sue us.
Yes.
For the shit we do.
Good point.
I get that. I'm for not being able to sue Saudi Arabia for damages if they're the ones that funded the terrorist.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure other countries will then try to sue us, and I don't know how that rabbit hole's going to go, so I don't want to know.
Yeah, let's not.
Because I don't know everything that we do.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we do a lot more than we know.
Exactly.
So I think a conspiracy I can get behind is, like, say there were probably secondary explosives making it fall. It's where the explosives came from, how the terrorists got them, that they were probably trying to cover up. Like, they were stolen from a military base or installation, and they feel like, like a little kid that, he's caught, but he doesn't want to admit it yet.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're doing here.
Right.
That, like, no, it wasn't me. We have video of you. It wasn't me.
Done that a lot in my life.
And say for whatever reason, because it was evident that, like, these people could not fly a jet, or they couldn't fly a Cessna. I think that what they were flying, or not very well. So they needed a distraction. So they flew jets into the tower so they can go get the bombs they placed for when they. I imagine when they were renovating the elevators is the only time they could have planted these explosives. And with a plane flying into the building, they had access now again to set off the bombs. That's my theory.
Okay.
And the government's just covering up the fact that the explosives were probably stolen from them.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Because I can't imagine, let's say 20 people place the bombs in the building. That means the government would have had to kill those 20 people. And then how many orders had to go down? So that's just people that placed the bombs in the building. And then how many more people had to give the orders? Are they dead? I imagine that's the only way you can keep something like this from coming out.
Yeah. Is
killing lots of people, which I guess they all went to war. So maybe all the people that gave these orders died in Afghanistan or Iraq somehow, which is very possible. I don't know.
Yeah. The more elaborate the conspiracy, the less I'm buying it.
Yeah, because the more moving parts, that means those moving parts can fail and give up the plan.
Yeah.
Because there has to be at least one person, if it was conspiracy, that's alive today, that has to feel bad, has a guilty conscience or something, and says, no, I did this. Like, you can...
Yeah.
There's not one person that says, I heard this, I did this. It's just...
So that's why I put this one in the harmful category as opposed to the playfuls, because there were thousands of people that lost their lives. And part of what you're saying in this conspiracy is that their murders were planned. That there are people who, inside of our own government, who are responsible for this. So that makes you trust the government less. That gives Alex Jones a little more volume to his voice. And it also gives other politicians the chance to beat up on intelligence agencies and the like.
But I imagine even if it is our government, that means 3 presidents now would have had to have some sort of knowledge or privy information and have said nothing. So I don't
Yeah. No, I don't think you could keep something like this secret. No way in hell. They couldn't keep breaking in a hotel a secret. They couldn't keep a blowjob a secret.
Yeah.
It's just... I don't believe it. But, okay, we're doing conspiracies tonight, and there's one of them.
There's a big one, I suppose.
Alright, next silly one. It's my favorite silly one.
Your favorite, huh?
Flat Earth.
Oh.
Flat Earth is my favorite ridiculous conspiracy. Because it's ridiculous. It's another science denial conspiracy. We have a lot of these.
I feel like the easiest way to convince flat earthers that it's round is you get on a plane.
They're faking it.
But you end up in the same spot.
Faked. They faked it.
No, you get a flat earther on the plane and you fly them around the world.
Yeah, the plane's fake. This is the great thing about conspiracies. I just can say it's fake, and you can't ever come back from that. You're lying. That's all I keep saying over and over again. You're lying. So when I look out, the ground is flat. So the Earth is flat.
Oh, okay.
If you get on a boat, go to the middle of the ocean, what happens to the horizon? Curves. Yeah.
But then I get a telescope and I can still see that boat.
Yeah, it's fake. Space is fake. I love that one too.
Well, then why can't you see the next country on the other side of this water? That country doesn't exist.
Yep, it's too far away, man.
I can't see that far. You can see the sun.
The flat earthers, come at us, because I've been dying. Flat Earth is just, it's ancient thinking recycled, and I think most of it is trolls. Honestly, I think people are just trying to have fun with it.
Maybe, I don't.
But there are true believers, because I've seen some videos.
Well, that's probably the people trolling somehow convince the dumb people in the world.
Yes.
And then the dumb people are like, this guy said so.
Yep.
Well, I don't believe you, Mr. Scientist.
Because this YouTuber said this.
Isn't it funny that we both made the same voice for this person?
I imagine he's from Arkansas.
Oh, there we go, Arkansas. Another shot across the bow. Yeah, flat earthers.
Arkansas.
What, man? Come on. The Earth is flat. Space is fake. All of this has been... We've been lied to. I don't know why. I guess elites... Oh, I always hear elites involved in this discussion. Because elites want us to be wrong about the shape of the Earth.
Well, I don't know that would... I don't know what that does.
I don't know either. Just give it up. Unless you're a troll, and then it's kind of funny.
It's funny.
It's a little funny.
But I guess since if space is fake, then I suppose the moon landing is also fake.
Whoa! Do you believe in the moon landing? You're such a sheep.
I know. What am I thinking?
So that's a good one because it has my favorite video in the history of the internet. Is when Buzz Aldrin, Cox, 80-year-old Buzz Aldrin, just what? Schmuck!
Don't you call me a liar?
Do you think that proves it's real or proves it's fake? Because you can go around
Well, I feel if I had someone with a camera follow me around yelling at 80-year-old men, calling them liars, swear on this Bible for God knows how long, because they could have actually sworn on the Bible the first 20 times he asked them, but we only see this one clip that he released. So, like, how many times did he ask him? How long did he follow him around?
Yeah.
Before he...
No, Buzz Aldrin's not a one snap, oh, I gotta punch this guy. This is a long...
Like, how many years, months, days, years, I'm gonna go with years, did this guy follow them around?
An American hero. An American hero is being followed around, called a liar, wherever he does a public appearance.
Yeah.
I'd punch him, too. I love the fact that they think Stanley Kubrick is the one who was the director for the fake moon landing. So they give it a little artistic, little touch, a little flair. Mr. Kubrick got it done. The Shining, then the moon landing.
I'm just... So, we landed on the moon in 69.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with... Have you seen a movie from 79?
Yeah.
Let's go with even 89.
Yeah.
Everything looks fucking fake.
Yeah.
Don't you think the moonwalk would have looked a little fake too?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the photography in space is like. I know the moon has a little bit of an atmosphere, but it's not much.
No, zero atmosphere.
Zero atmosphere, okay.
Yeah.
So, I think that would affect light differently in a bunch of ways that we haven't, us or anybody on the internet is prepared to
you can
deal with.
see the moon very clearly from space at night, right?
Well,
from here. The
space is fake, but yeah, okay.
So just imagine all that light getting reflected off. Like it's a reflective surface, like things like a mirror. You know, you can see things.
And I guess the point of faking the moon landing would be because the Soviet Union beat us with a satellite, first one to launch a satellite. We would fake the moon landing to make them think that we were there, and then they would.
But then we went back again.
Did we?
Yeah, we've been back. We just haven't been back in a very long time.
Very long time.
We've been a couple times.
Yeah.
I think, what was it, Apollo didn't go. Well, they tried to go.
They tried to, yeah.
So,
I
like,
remember that one.
I feel like I should know how many times we've landed on the moon.
Yeah. Somebody comments. Tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
It's 2.
Fact check me.
2+. We'll go 2+ trips to the moon.
But I guess there's just no point to go if you're not going to colonize. I don't know. Like, maybe...
Flag's already up there.
Yeah. We got the flag, bitches.
It's American.
Well, I suppose when Elon Musk starts getting rockets in space and we land on the moon with Elon, we can be like, oh no, I see you, flag.
Yeah.
We're good.
You mean planet Tesla? Is that what you mean by the moon? Yeah, moon landings. Science denial on top of I'm smarter than everybody else.
Because, like, again, like, you still have to keep all those people quiet for all those years. At some point, wouldn't someone just be like...
Yeah, this is a movie set.
Because I could imagine Russia would pay lots and lots of money to someone to being like, oh, no.
Yeah. So, that's the other
This
thing.
is what really happened, because here's the real tapes of us in the studio.
Governments that weren't ours acknowledged this trip to the moon.
Because hasn't China, like, gone around the moon and they've taken pictures of the stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're just taking it from one source. Literally, everybody has said that America has done this. One of the greatest achievements in human history, and you want to deny it because...
Got nothing else to do.
Exactly. Because you're bored. Because you don't understand science, so therefore it must not.
Oh no, it's because they saw that flag flap around with no wind, with no atmosphere, but it's not wind flying, it's far less gravity, and there's still weight, momentum. It's like little weight thing that goes like, think,
yeah,
think,
and just goes
think,
back and
think.
forth, yeah.
But there's a lot less gravity, so things will go for a lot longer.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I'd imagine. So again, my science degree's in the mail, so I don't have it yet, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
Phoenix.com.
Phoenix.com.
University of Phoenix, or whatever that is.
So, those were fun. Now let's do a not fun one.
All right.
Alex Jones.
We're going back to Alex Jones.
We're going back to Alex Jones because this is one of the ones that I personally just kind of made my stomach turn. Sandy Hook. Alex Jones got on the air and claimed that Sandy Hook was perpetrated by gun control advocates who were trying to get laws passed, and that these first graders were not murdered, that these parents were actors or faking it for money or whatever else you could fake these things for. And I don't know about you, but the stuff I saw on the news broke my heart. I was kind of depressed for a couple of days. It just seemed like a different world, that first graders could be murdered such an inhumane way. Just a monster-ish act. I'm not going to call him a monster, but that was a monstrous act.
I think just it's just so shitty that I don't even want to...
It's a really shitty thing to do, Alex Jones. You could...
Yeah, I don't know.
This is was it a publicity thing? Is he trying to get more famous? Is that why Alex Jones did this?
No, but he did take it back. He was
He
like,
did.
oh no, I believe it happened.
After everybody said, "Fuck you, Alex Jones," he's like, "Oh, I take it back," which doesn't count.
Yeah. And I don't know, like sending it... Well, I don't know. He didn't send people to him. When he took it back,
Yeah.
people took the conspiracy further.
Yes.
So they started going to those people's houses, which is just insane how you can't, like...
How you can not have empathy for those parents.
I do not want to be in that community.
No. Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the community of that
Sandy Hook, right,
conspiracy.
the deniers. We'll call them the deniers. And also, these kind of conspiracies come up almost every gun incident that we have. And it's part of the playbook. Deny, 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 deny. That way we can refuse to talk about the subject at hand, which is this kid got a hold of guns and went and shot first grade.
But if there was gun insurance, maybe a little less likely.
Well, she wouldn't have had as many guns. I'm glad you brought up gun insurance. She wouldn't have had as many guns, one. Number two, if the policy paid out, it would be a lot harder to have a conspiracy about it, because here's at least an insurance company willing to say that this happened. And three...
So the benefit of the insurance is the conspiracy goes away.
The community would have had counseling and various services based on the premiums that we pay into this thing. So there would have been at least a little more help for those people. Although in this situation, it's not like you can make this better. There's nothing you can do.
It's just shit.
Right.
It's just shit piled on top of shit, with these people piling on more shit on the shit pile, and then
so then people are saying, let's give teachers guns, and all kinds of crazy shit happens next.
Like, how would you just make schools harder to get into?
Smart.
Just lock a front door.
Yeah.
Maybe have 2 front doors.
One entrance. Yeah.
Well, no, fire. You need fire exits.
Well, that's an exit. One entrance. You keep everybody.
But every exit you can get into. Never mind.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah. So Sandy Hook's terrible.
Since we're talking about first graders,
yes,
let's talk about when they get vaccinated.
Okay, another fun one. No, this is not a fun one. This is a harmful one. Why? Why is this harmful?
Well, there are a few reasons that don't exist anymore, because you've never seen them since like the 70s.
Yes.
Why we should get vaccinations still.
Yeah.
And just because lots of diseases pop up around the same time you get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go with autism.
Yes.
You start noticing autism around like 1 year old to like 2 years old. And that's the same time you start getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
And people have biases that make it like, well, nothing was wrong with my baby until this, and then this happened, so it must be because of this. Well, no, it's just...
Yeah, it's called a fallacy of causation. Just because 2 events happen close in time doesn't mean one created the other. This is a very common mistake.
And there's multiple studies that say, like, there's no correlation whatsoever.
And having an unvaccinated kid makes every kid a little less safe.
Well, and there's the belief that, like, you've never seen people with, was it polio?
Polio's a vaccine, yeah. Measles.
Measles. So you're like, well, why do I need, like, I've never seen it, so why do I need it? So people just deny that they need it, so they were like, well, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah. Again, I think this is...
But no one wants polio.
Nobody. Who's pro polio? I don't...
Except for Polo. Marco.
Polo, yeah. We don't want polio. You don't want your kids to have polio. We fixed this. And now people are like, nah. Science denial. Again.
I guess they also say, like, well, there's more cases of autism now. Or is it just because the factors that we can register autism,
yes,
because we're broadening the spectrum,
yes,
is better?
We understand what autism is.
Well, it
was all a thing. Right. I mean, we classifying it. We understand how to
we can identify it better.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Because we don't know what causes it.
Right.
Except for, like, there are some environmental factors. There's probably some genetic factors. Like, they have hypotheses on what causes it, but they don't have any hard rock evidence. Just like,
when they do, maybe they'll develop a vaccine.
Gene therapy, maybe? I don't know.
Something. The point is, public health is important, and when you check out of this stuff, you make other people less safe.
Because just get vaccinated.
You're not smarter than the scientific community. You haven't figured something else out.
What, the 40 or 50 years of vaccinations and
thousands of doctors, research, none of that matters.
Upon more research.
Why are they giving these shots? Are they trying to make kids autistic? Like, what is the reasoning behind?
We gotta keep them down.
Gotta keep everybody.
Gotta keep our foot on their throat.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever.
Yes. And
Speaking of keeping the foot on the throat, how about that? Like, what is it? Deep state, government, and like Russia conspiracy.
All right. So this is what tonight's about. So you guys all know. So we have two right now. We have two conspiracies that are competing with each other in the headlines. Oh, sorry. Two competing conspiracies right now in the headlines. One of them is the conspiracy of Russian collusion. That would be the left. And then the deep state conspiracy, which would be the right. Where should I start? What do you want to hear first?
I guess let's start with the OGAs. Other government agencies for the people not in the know on this conspiracy talk.
So I'm going to do a shout out to my QAnon people. Say like or something. Give us some numbers. So QAnon is the group that believes in the deep state. They believe that there are extra government agencies that are behind the scenes controlling the levers of everything that happens in our world. So this would be the control idea, that something is in control. So, nobody elects these people. These are the highest elitist elites that you can think of. And they're...
So it's like the EPA.
They're the most anti-Trump you could be. Because clearly the Russian collusion part of it is what they've created in order to bring Trump down. That would be the idea behind it.
I thought Russia got Trump elected.
No, well, we'll get to that. So,
or was it a anyone but Hillary thing?
What do you think? So it's smoke-filled rooms, right? That's who are making all of these decisions. We can't name a person. We don't know anything. We just call it all deep state. It's this shadow thing, shadow government. Here's the thing about government that I'm pretty sure you know. Government is made out of people. Did you know that, Dustin?
And the people that talk to other people?
People can be good or bad. Did you know that?
Can we just call them Illuminati for now?
Okay, so
I really wanted to say Illuminati.
Yeah, Illuminati. Now we look around. No, I think we're safe. Okay. Government is made out of people.
I saw it move.
When people make smart, responsible decisions, guess what? Government is smart and responsible. And when people make selfish, self-serving decisions, guess what government becomes? Self-serving.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't like the way your government looks...
Participate.
That's it. So all of these conspiracy guys in the deep state say, no, I'm not voting because of the deep state. So you don't want to change the thing that you have...
that you may or may not have power over. Might as well, how long does it take to take 15 minutes out of your lunch break, go to some church or some hospital? I don't know where your voting station is, and mine's just at a church, sorry. You go take 15 minutes and check a box.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably like 12 boxes, but whatever. You can opt not to check the rest.
Yeah. And you don't have to vote if you don't want to vote. Probably
you should.
If you believe in deep state, maybe you shouldn't. But the point being, as long as you create this deep state, then any administration, so happens to be the Trump administration, but anybody can say that they're not responsible for anything. The deep state is control of everything, so everything bad that happens is because of the deep state. Everything good that happens is because I'm so awesome. And that obviously is far from the truth for anybody.
Yeah, it
just
doesn't make sense.
No. It's a cop-out, a scapegoat. It's a way of playing the media and only hitting your target group and never having to admit or apologize for anything. Which our current leadership is really good at that part. We're really good at deflecting away and saying...
Fake news!
Yeah, fake news. Probably part of the deep state. So if you believe in the deep state, you can't cooperate because that would mean you're giving in to the deep state. So you're going into government, right? You're going to be the president, but you can't cooperate with the government because they're all evil.
Yeah, so I don't understand how this all works.
None of it. It doesn't make any sense at all.
There's like... level A is in control of the whole alphabet, yet somehow B is in charge of the people. But A, you have to be B not to listen to A, but it doesn't all make sense.
Yeah, you can't see your way through that.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. It makes cooperation impossible. You can't compromise with an evil deep state. It's just not a thing that you can do. If you really believe in the deep state, the only answer is violence. So you're basically saying that. Here's the problem that I see. The other problem is that governments need to keep secrets. It's just a fact of...
But for how long? Should every government have to declassify... not every. Let's just go with ours. Because this is one I live in. This is one I care about. Every 25 years, have some review board that goes over like the last 25 years and being like, well, not the last 25 years, but the 25 years before that, that span of time, and being like, all right. Well, we can't tell this because we're still not really friends with them, so we'll go through that. Then, like, every 25 years this happens.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to be classified forever. Just like, I think over, like, the government shutdown or right before it got re-shut down, like, they signed a bill or something that declassified all of the...
Yeah, periodically I know there's the Freedom of Information Act, but periodically they'll do dumps where they'll say, okay, here's the 1960s or whatever.
Yeah, but it's just...
Yeah.
Well, they just declassified a lot of the human rights movement, like cold cases and FBI stuff, so they can find out, like, people that got murdered and stuff, like all the cold cases, they can maybe figure them out now or whatever.
Yeah.
Because all of the witnesses that were put away or whatever are probably dead by now, so they were like, okay, there's a committee that actually just started doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea is to create a balance of transparency, like you said. Eventually we'll release these things, plus you have to vote in people that are smart and responsible. That should be step one.
But do they have access to all this? Do you think the people in power actually have access to the And why do you keep classified information? I don't understand it.
You don't understand why they have classified information?
No, I get why they have classified information, but why do they keep it? To be released.
Yeah.
Like, if I had something that, like, 5 years ago, like, oh, I still have that. Let me get rid of that. It doesn't exist anymore. So, like, can you really trust an entity that, like, has classified information? Because you don't know if it's actually everything coming out or not anyway.
So that's a good question, and that's why we have something called oversight. So we have a military that is the oversight is done by our governments, Congress. Yep. There's different committees in the Senate and the House of Representatives that don't share everything that they find, but they're in the know on everything that the military's doing. The idea, obviously, is we don't want our enemies to know our playbook. We want to keep them guessing, but we need somebody to look out for the interests of the American people and not let this entity, whether it be the Army or the...
It's got to make sure the moral compass stays pointing north.
We have private oversight of our military. That's not the case everywhere in the world. It's one of the key parts of our government, and it gets threatened every now and then. But that's another conversation.
Yeah.
So as long as you have this, as long as QAnon has the deep state to point to, they'll never have to be responsible for anything. They'll never have to compromise, and they'll always be right. Wouldn't you like that as your operating philosophy?
Yeah, let's just do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not responsible.
Seems pretty good deal. Seems like a good deal.
Seems like a 5-year-old's wish.
So that's the right. That's one side of this battle royale that's going on right now. The other side is the idea of Russian collusion. Now I'm going to make a lot of my liberal friends angry with this next little portion. So if you want, mute it, because I'm just going to do some facts here, and you might not like the way they fall.
Don't mute it.
So,
hate the man.
First point. The case that you have to make, the legal case for collusion, is incredibly difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to prove intent. You have to prove that there was a malicious factor, that the president knew what Putin was doing, and Putin knew what Trump was doing, and everybody was on the same page.
That'd be a lot of conversations, and I don't know how often they met.
I watched that entire campaign. You want to know what the operating philosophy of that campaign was? Chaos. They didn't want anyone to know what they were doing. Yeah. They kept things completely up in the air.
Well, in 1 week he would say, blah, 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 blah. The next week he would completely just change his mind on whatever he said last week. So
yes.
I don't know who could have kept track besides
they were
Trump.
Yeah, they were too inept to collude. They were. It was not the kind. And here's another thing that most people should realize. He didn't think he was going to win. Donald Trump did not think going into the election that he was going to win. He didn't write a victory speech. He was planning on creating a television network.
I mean, did you not see his last speech? It was just a lot of ad-lib anyway, so I think this is how he rolls.
Yeah.
I don't think he does speeches very well.
To think that Vladimir Putin and Moscow decided, oh, you know what would be, I can get Trump elected president, is fucking ridiculous. That's a ridiculous idea. Now, to think that the president of Russia would want to fuck up our political process, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who it was. He hated Hillary Clinton for reasons that are laid out in history.
Yeah, so it's just like anybody but Hillary.
Right.
Doesn't matter. So let's just...
Trump made it easy because he's Trump. But
yeah, he's loud. He's vocal.
It could have been Ted Cruz, and there would have been Russians on the internet pro Ted Cruz. Yeah.
This isn't so much a conspiracy because we know for a fact that Russia did have houses full of like computer farms that did have fake accounts, just putting like lots of crap on Facebook.
Yes.
That's not so much the conspiracy.
No, that's not the conspiracy part at all. The conspiracy would be that they did it in line with the Trump campaign. That's the collusion part. But of course,
his own lawyer can't even provide evidence of this said collusion, which is weird.
You're not going to be able to prove it. If you're trying to make an impeachment case based on collusion, that's not going to work. Your best bet is all the financial stuff. But that's, again, another show. We're not doing that here.
I don't like numbers. Numbers make my head hurt.
I understand that. So, the conspiracy says that Putin and Trump were in league together. But what did Putin actually do, Dustin? Here's what he did. They broke in to the DNC chairman's emails, and he released those emails, which uncovered the fact that the Democratic National Committee was not being very democratic. That's what they uncovered.
Oops.
Yeah. So he showed us that, which is stealing technically, but what it really did was illuminate a part of our process that probably, I'm glad we know now that happened.
I guess you can say the same thing about Snowden. I mean, he did steal it.
Yeah.
But he gave it back.
Well, yeah, Snowden's another case of just a guy doing the right thing who's now being lumped into a bad category. Trump's not doing the right thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there was no collusion. If you're trying to prove it, you're going to fail. That's what I'm trying to say. So, number one, he released the emails. Number two, they got on the internet and they talked shit. That's it.
Oh, they also coordinated events across the street from other events to start shit.
Okay, that's fine. Here's the truth of that. Americans should be smarter. We should be smart enough to see through this nonsense. We should be smart enough to judge these messages as hateful or unproductive.
You know what I ask my wife all the time? Where did you read that? Facebook?
Yes.
Why do I ask that? It's because most of the shit on Facebook doesn't make any sense and it's just made up stuff for you to read.
Yeah. Let's not be victims. Let's not say, oh, Mr. Putin got us. We'll never recover. Let's be smarter.
The next time you see an outrageous thing that you think might be true, just log off of Facebook, go on to Google, and just Google search it.
Glufton, it has never been easier to fact check in the history of humankind. I can fact check while I'm taking a shit. Factcheck.org. Oh, that was bullshit. Oh, that was bullshit. Oh, that was bullshit. Nobody's doing this? It's the easiest thing in the world.
Next time you are on Facebook, probably on the shitter, oh, well, I'll just get off and then I'll Google search and be like, oh no, well this says this isn't even remotely close, so let me try a different source. Yes, multiple sources, people. Just, you're not doing much anyway, so just read one article, read another article, and then Facebook is probably going to be wrong.
I have a golden rule. Here's my golden rule. Is this piece, this whatever, article, is it trying to make me feel or is it trying to make me think? If it's trying to make me feel...
You can probably judge it just from the title.
Yeah, it's probably bullshit. If it's trying to make me feel something, especially anger or hate. Those two things they should be little exclamation points that go off in your head.
Number one.
You're going to have to deal with the rest of this conversation.
I was trying to drown my sorrows.
So, yeah, talking shit on the internet, that was phase 2 of the Russian collusion plan, which was basically nothing.
But how does one collude with someone not doing that? Hoping that the people listen, follow, and are dumb?
Yeah.
which apparently we are.
Well, it worked, and they knew that in real time. So they just kept adding things. And if you don't think there are 8 different countries who are going to try the same exact shit in 2020, you're a moron. Yeah. We need to brighten up.
But somehow it's Mark Zuckerberg's fault.
Yes, it's Facebook's fault.
Like, how the fuck is he supposed to know? Be like, I just created this. You guys do with it what you will.
Yeah. It's like blaming the page of the book and not the words on it.
It's like blaming Henry Ford for that drunk accident that happened 100 years after he created the... Well, I guess he just the assembly line, but whatever.
It's a platform, okay? The people provided the dumb, okay? And that's the problem, is the people. That's what I'm trying to say. We have got to be smarter. We've got to see through this shit. Or they're going to keep running us around in circles and we're going to keep hating each other forever.
Yeah.
Democracy will fail. Dumb will beat democracy. That's what will happen.
Dumb.
So there is no Russian collusion. That is a conspiracy. There is no deep state. That is a conspiracy. And both things produce the same result, which is no compromise, no ability to meet in the middle, fights, conflict.
Just vote and fact check. That's all you gotta do.
You gotta be smarter and things will change.
And don't think you're throwing away your vote with the third party. It's probably a better option.
Vote with your head.
Stop listening to the whole you're just throwing away your vote.
And you know, I'm a kind of a political junkie. Everybody clearly after 3 episodes knows that about me. And 2020 is going to be so much fun just because of the amount of nonsense and hoops we're going to jump through, and it's going to be one of the biggest spectacles in American history.
I wish that what is her OCG? I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah, we know.
Was 35. I really wish she was 35 years old.
Yeah, she's not afraid. She'll come out swinging. She's future. She's in the future running.
No, she's dumb. She's not the future. She's dumb.
She's got something.
But, however, if she was 35 today,
yeah,
in 2020, I think it would be entertaining to watch how that would unfold. But I think she's way too naive. Maybe the word's naive, like dumb. I'm sure she's smart. She is where she is now because of that. But
she's got something. I think she's got something. I don't know.
I think maybe she's trying to be too Trump, the opposite direction of Trump.
Yeah.
She's trying to be the mirror, but it just doesn't.
It's not working on you?
No, I think there's just too much already. I mean, she's paying her boyfriend to move. There's lots of stuff going on with her that I don't think she's going to make it to even 2020 to be. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, there are only 4 Democrats not running for president, so it's kind of hard not to be in that group.
Well, I feel like it's just a roll the dice over there.
I think it's the dumbest thing they could possibly do, would just stretch the field out and then not be able to build a candidate to meet Trump's 35%, because that 35% is going to be there. Going to be there. They're going to vote for Trump, that 35%. So if you start dicing the field up, then we'll have the Sanders and the Clinton situation where Sanders people didn't want to vote for Clinton because maybe John Podesta cheated to get her. But I'm just saying.
Well, we're digressing.
So there's the meeting of these 2 conspiracies. It's happening right now in front of your face. It's destructive. It doesn't take much to see through it. At all.
Well, what's something you can't see? Global warming. You can't see that. Or can you?
Well,
ice caps melting. Who knows? I don't know.
You can see the ice melting, yeah. Science denial. What do you know?
That's like a theme. Like, the more... we rely on science for a lot.
Yes, we do.
Like, there's a lot of science that just goes in your GPS.
A incredible amount of science, yeah.
Which is weird, but you use it every day, and you don't deny that.
No.
Like, you believe for a fact that your GPS is going to get you to where you want to go.
Yes.
Yet, for some reason, when it comes to the warming of the Earth, whether it be slow, I might disagree with him slightly on certain things, but not by much.
Yeah,
I agree that we're probably hastening the global warming effect. Will the Earth be warming without us? Probably. There are ebbs and flows in
cycles.
Climate.
Yeah.
Just like we're just making this cycle go faster. That's all. That's all I think.
Science knows about these cycles. And I imagine they calculated that in when they realized that we are accelerating the warming with carbon. Because what does carbon do in the atmosphere? It collects heat. It's not a matter of... I don't know. What's the side that believes... What's the benefit in creating a global warming movement if it's not real? Who benefits? Money.
I blame Gore.
Gore! Oh, yeah. I forgot about Gore. And, yeah.
The billionaire from the green movement.
Mr. Nasally Gore.
Yeah. What is it, like 90% of all scientists that like have any sort of expertise in this field say we're helping Earth warm.
Yes.
We're helping. I'm not saying we're the cause of it because, well, obviously the ice age happened, it melted, so we weren't emitting any sort of greenhouse gases then.
Yes. Yet
it's still warm. So it's just it's probably still warming from then, just very slowly. And then I'm sure in like 5,000 years, it'll go right back down. However,
well, yeah. Again, all of my science degrees currently in the mail. So I'm not going to talk sciencey, but I will say the level of temperature increase before industrialization versus the level of temperature increase after industrialization isn't close. There's clearly an acceleration that's happening. So to deny it, what do we lose when we deny it? Well, what are we not doing that we should be? Because we're denying this.
Well, we're not listening to... we're not buying a Tesla. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We're not buying a Tesla.
Can
we get like a $20,000 Tesla?
It's coming.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, you would have thought by now. I mean, they had gas crises in the 70s. The electric engine should have been a thing before now. Here's a conspiracy that I would actually buy into.
Well, no, like, the car companies probably levied where, like, they probably bought the patents, and they're like, well, no.
Shelf it.
Well, we make money, and I have money, so I'm going to buy it from you, and then, well, no one can make them.
Yeah. That's probably a real conspiracy. I mean, I don't know.
No, it's not a conspiracy. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it makes sense.
Because there's been electric cars, like, there was one, like, in the late 90s, right?
Yeah.
I remember that shitty-looking car.
Yeah.
And every electric car looks dumb.
Yeah.
They all look dumb.
Yeah, because you're used to...
You don't have to change the shape of a car to put an electric engine in it.
Maybe you do. They do look kind of...
like the real wheels always have this weird cover thing on them. I'm like, why? What? They just look dumb.
I don't know.
It's like the car companies are trying not to sell them.
Wow, that's strange. Why would they do that? Because their entire business
is just weird. Because you have to buy like a new battery like every 8 to 10 years.
Oh, I didn't know that either. You don't just charge it up forever. You got to buy a new battery.
Like they have lifespans, and
that's the kind of stuff that I bet gets better in like the next 5 years or so.
Yeah, but like I think they would make more money because they would have to produce the batteries that people have to buy to continue working their car. So it's like, now you have to buy a whole new car. I guess then you would only have to buy an engine every 10 years.
Yeah.
But I guess there would be lots of changes because there's no more oil changes. There's no more like... The mechanics would all have to change.
Yeah, there's no pollution, right? It's all green.
Well, there's that.
There's no exhaust.
Well, there's the energy pollution that caused the electricity, so there's either nuclear, wind, coal, whatever the case may be.
Yes. True. Embedded in the cost.
Yeah.
Is that. We're also not preparing for refugees. When it starts to melt, the sea level rises, there are going to be communities that are displaced. We're not saving money for that. We're not...
Where does the majority of the people live?
On the coast, Dustin. Most of us live near water.
Yeah.
So when that water starts creeping up, I mean, even Manhattan is going to be... If they don't build a wall, I think, it's going to be underwater.
We can't have no wall.
Different kind of wall, but maybe wall's not a good idea. I don't know. Can't find the money for it. Shut the government down for it. I'm saying
no walls can be built.
there are steps that we could be taking to prepare for some of this. There are storms that are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're not preparing for those either. We're not putting supplies down in areas that'll probably get flooded. We're not doing any of the FEMA stuff we should be doing because there's enough of a debate that says this isn't real.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. It's because people don't want to change the economic model. Like, what do you benefit from?
Like, and maybe the two sides are just so crazy hell-bent.
Yeah.
That, like, because one side says the world's going to end in 12 years.
That doesn't
Dumb.
help. It doesn't help when you make those kind of predictions.
You're dumb. That's why you're not making it very far.
Yes.
She knows who I'm talking to.
It's also dumb to hold a snowball and say, global warming can't be real. Snow. That's also dumb. Nobody's saying that it's never cold. Okay? That's not what global warming is.
But it seems that, like, the extreme cold has been getting worse.
Yeah, well,
Like,
the
yin and yang is
Yeah.
getting drastically different.
weather becomes more extreme with more energy in the atmosphere. That means wind blows faster, that pulls air down from the Arctic. It doesn't...
Science degrees in the mail.
Yeah, science agrees.
It tells them how to talk in sciencey version 2.
That's what global warming means. It doesn't mean warming temperature-wise. It means more energy in the atmosphere. Okay? Carbon locks the sunlight, creates more energy. More energy creates bigger storms.
I don't know if it traps the sunlight, but it traps the heat from escaping the atmosphere into space. But
He comes from the sun. But okay, so...
But you said sunlight.
That's true, I did. You're right. The
I'm
radiated solar...
I'm just saying, like, your
Energy.
science degrees in the mail.
Yes. Right, some of my words aren't going to be right. But the idea is right. There's more energy in the atmosphere. That's what global warming means. Doesn't mean the temperature is going up, even though it is. It means there's more energy in the atmosphere.
Well, it's like the hotter it gets, let's say the contrast, like the next flow is colder, then it gets hotter. I'm not saying the weather, like from winter to summer, not year to year.
Yeah.
So the hotter it gets, the more extreme the winter is going to be.
Yeah.
But the winter is probably going to get shorter because it has to be more extreme. Like I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I haven't lived through a climate change.
You haven't?
No.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Privilege.
Right? Privilege of only being 30, in my 30s.
Yeah, in your 30s. Science now. I gotta knock this shit out. It's the worst thing going on right now.
Just listen to the smart people.
Yeah. Here's another idea. While we're on the science idea. So, we have religious leaders in our government. We have lawyers in our government. We have military personnel in our government.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have scientists, for the most part, in our government.
Want to know why?
Yeah.
Because most smart people don't like talking to other people.
They're going to avoid it. Yeah, I get it.
They like to be in their own little labs doing little things because they're socially awkward.
Here's the science.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But it's an elected... Like, you have to be elected to do stuff, but I guess there's like... But I guess the president, gets people to be in charge of these things, right? Like, that's...
That would be the idea, but I wouldn't say this president anything right now.
Well,
Yeah.
I meant the president, not... Yeah.
I'm saying the scientific mind would be someone who sees a problem, thinks up a couple of different solutions, tests one, oh, that didn't work, tests another, oh, that didn't work, tests the third, oh, that worked.
You would think that there would be like a whole division in the government that does this sort of stuff.
Yeah. We need scientific minds in our government. We need people who see a problem as a series of steps that is not a chance to get my face on television or whatever else. Go team go. That's not what science does. Science solves problems.
But I guess, as long as it's just a matter of getting people to listen to the scientists. Because
Yes.
science is still getting done regardless of them being in government or
keep
not.
Going, yeah.
Because that's what the schools are for. They fund all the science. But,
It's propelling our culture. You might not see it, but that's what science is doing.
but no one wants to listen to them when it's convenient. But they're absolutely listening to them when it's convenient. Which, I'm like, how do you cherry pick science?
It's very interesting. A selective ignorance.
Just because you don't know how it works does not make it untrue.
Yeah. I think that's most of these conspiracies. Just because you don't know how it works doesn't mean that it's not true. just because you don't know how buildings fall, doesn't mean that's how they fall.
I've seen things fall. I know how things fall. It just doesn't make sense how it fell that way.
Just because you don't know how vaccines work doesn't mean vaccines don't work. Just because you can put a temperature thermometer in the air and say
It's 2 degrees less than last year.
doesn't make you a climatologist.
Yeah, he just...
Science denial. Stop it.
Because there is way, way too much work involved in doing sciencey things.
Agreed.
It's lots of numbers, getting lots of data.
Being very thorough. Detail-oriented.
None of us have time for that shit.
No. I
Just leave it to the smart people that stay in their labs to do that crap, and let's actually listen when they talk.
The smartest thing I ever decided in my life was, I'm not smart enough for that. That was the smartest thing I ever did. Wow, those guys are amazing. I'm going to go back home and watch TV.
I'm going to go watch a 30-minute show on that, and then I'm going to be an expert. Thank you for doing those 5 years of study clinics.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's the one redeeming force in our culture, and it gets shat on constantly by people who don't understand.
Well, majority of people are dumb.
Okay. I would say...
But we have those select few people that are smart in said areas, and why not just listen to them?
They keep pushing us forward. We'll get there. I mean, you look at the
I
numbers.
mean, you love your iPhone. That's all science.
All science. Let's see. We could do this one thing after another.
Well, let's get away from the science a little bit. Let's go with what is it, like the boogeyman behind the banking system? That conspiracy?
Oh, yeah. This is another smoky room conspiracy.
I guess it's very similar to your deep state government agency. Like there's some Illuminati. I'm just going to use everything Illuminati. Like let's say the Illuminati is behind the banking system and how they failed the first time in getting a hold of our country, but they succeeded. The Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with government, by the way, which is very strange why they called it federal.
Very strange how the Federal Reserve works.
I don't understand. Like I've
Still
watched a couple hours this week on it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't understand how they make money for the country, but they're not in the government. I don't get it.
They make policy decisions.
Like this is a conspiracy that I think I need to go like way deeper in.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch base on it because it's a conspiracy that affects everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of banking, like just in general of how it started, is just insane to me. It's like, hey, well you want this, but you want this, but you want this. Why don't you all just give me all that, and I'll give you these pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea is insane to me.
You're owning the money.
But whoever started it is a genius.
Is a genius. You own the money other people spend. Explain how that works.
I don't get it.
You own the money other people spend.
And then you just put out more money when you don't have what that money is supposed to represent, which is why I was confused how we went from gold-backed money to not. Like, I don't understand.
I don't understand that either.
Like, when it was gold-backed, I got it. Be like, okay, all the money that's printed is equated into this amount of gold that we have.
Yes.
Now it's just
numbers.
Faith?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
I think we could do like I don't know.
We would have to do research because I'm confused. I
tried to do the research on this whole stuff, and it's just very strange to me.
Yeah.
But
solve this in the comments. Can you hit us in the comments with the answer to this?
How does it work? Banking is strange because apparently, like the government can give the banks money too, that they didn't loan out the money that they were given, and I think they should have just failed in 2008. But that's just me.
I think they did fail. We just
no, they didn't
accept it.
They got a redo.
Yeah, they did. Well, I don't get a redo. I get no redos.
Yeah.
But if that collapses, that the whole world is in turmoil. I mean, I understand why it happened. It doesn't mean I liked it when it happened.
Well, shit happens.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow will still come.
So we got a little American history on this one because Herbert Hoover was watching the Great Depression happening, did nothing. And we had the Great Depression. Bush and into Obama saw the same thing happening and did something. Just pissed people off because it was our money that he was. But it was necessary.
They just delay it?
Maybe again.
Every bubble pops.
True.
This bubble has not yet popped,
Okay.
but it's supposed to. It's the longest bubble in financial bubble, by the way.
Yeah. Student debt is now part of that bubble too.
Stupid. Don't get me started. On
Yeah.
this, dude.
Student debt is.
It should have never been federally guaranteed.
Yeah.
The federal
Bankruptcy
government
wiped it.
should not give any sort of backing, and I promise you that student loans would be a lot less because tuition would be less.
That's the point. So if I know that you can get such and such amount of money from the government, guess what? That's the exact amount the tuition is. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, maybe we can get more. How about next year we raise it?
Gotta raise it up. Maybe we'll pay for a football team this year.
Well, no,
Or the mini
let's
university.
hire a whole bunch of our friends to do God knows what on this, like let's just let's hire faculty that doesn't actually teach.
Department of Gender Studies. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I take it back.
That's a class though. They learn things.
Yeah. I took it back.
Talk about like the people that sit around in an office that facilitate. I don't know what you're supposed to facilitate. Students pay to go there. They show up to class. They go home, do homework, and do it again for the next 10 years of their life.
Yeah. So we know Bernie Sanders is running. Last time Bernie Sanders ran on free college education for everybody.
No, I don't think college should be free.
No, I don't think it's feasible to do it that way.
There's too many goddamn mouths to feed.
Yeah.
How about we not make college the number one priority? Because, 30% of college graduates don't get a job using their degree?
Yeah.
Yet there's millions upon millions of jobs available using your hands.
Yeah. So when I was at school, I was learning history, and they told me, we now have a language.
That was a class?
Yeah. I was majoring in history, minoring in philosophy. Smartass. But
Not gender studies? That's what I would pay.
they told me a couple of semesters in, or till I was about to graduate, they said, no, you have to have 2 years of Spanish. What? Why do I need a foreign language to understand history or philosophy? What's the point of this other than to add money to the language departments who were probably having a hard time getting people to major in French?
Because high school and middle school taught people all their foreign languages they wanted to? I don't know.
It's just not a part. It was a money thing, a money grab, and that's what college has become.
It's just how much money can we extract from these kids that will pay it back for the next 30 years of their lives?
When they're starting their lives out, let's cripple them. Let's go ahead and take a knee out and make them limp around
Yeah.
as soon as they leave college. Fucking retarded. You know what college-educated people do in an economy? They buy houses, they buy cars, they buy furniture, all the kind of stuff that creates a big middle class.
But
services.
But don't non-college educated people still do all those things?
They do, but you would think with a college degree you're supposed to make more money, and you would be the professional class, which is a little different than lower class, but not.
Well, I do not have a college degree,
Neither do I.
and I'm pretty sure I'm doing all right.
Yeah, there's nothing I do in my life that I.
And my wife does better than me currently, and she doesn't even use her college degree.
Yeah.
She works in the mortgage industry.
She does.
And she had her college degree in physical therapy.
Yes.
Weird.
I see how that's
She's part of that 38%, right? That I was talking about?
Yeah. She didn't have student debt, though. She did it the smart way. She paid as she played.
ODU.
Yeah. Very smart. I did not do that. And I didn't graduate. So now I have debt and no degree. But the degree wouldn't have helped. Nobody who graduated with a history degree when I graduated is working as anything except
FBI and librarians. That's it. You got two options. And you don't look like the FBI type.
No. Law school was my plan, and that went. Now I'm waiting on those science degrees. So they should be here any second.
Come on, FedEx.
So we went from Wall Street into student debt. That was interesting.
Sometimes things just kind of flow.
I feel like student debt is a conspiracy, but it's wide open and everybody can see it.
Yeah, it just doesn't make... Just go to your local community college for 2 years. You can trust me, you can still drink and have a fun time at community college.
Until you take responsibility for your own education, you're not going to learn. The thing that makes a smart person is someone who is following curiosity. then you're interested about everything you're learning, you're making sure you have complete knowledge that you want to know, you're not going to half-ass it because it's something that was assigned to you, something you care about. It's the only way.
So you got to find your passion. Your passion is always going to change because it's a feeling.
Responsibility for your own education. It's important. No one else is going to do it for you.
Public service announcement.
Yeah, I'm good for those. Science and education. Wow.
Yeah, sciencey.
I'm like a
educations.
grandpa.
Well, you are wearing a sweater.
Yeah. All right. We'll end on my favorite conspiracy.
All right.
Kennedy assassination.
Oh.
The reason why this is my favorite because it has so many layers. You can go at it from a bunch of different ways.
There are. It's an onion. It's
It
definitely
is an onion of a conspiracy. I'm putting this under the silly fun category, although at the time I don't think we would have put it there. And technically a man died, so it's probably not silly fun, but fuck it, it's my podcast.
It's 40 years later.
Yes. So, what do you think? What do you think? You don't have to go to the conspiracy. What do you think actually happened?
My opinion, I wasn't there, nor know anyone that was there, so it's just completely fabricated. He was paid by some organization to shoot him because he was convenient. He probably owed some sort of he was probably into sports betting. He was behind in money, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Did the deed, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, so you're a one-shooter guy?
I believe there was more people involved.
Okay, so he didn't know the other roles, the other people, or did
Well, no, there was probably contingencies if, say, he got cold feet or whatever, because, he's pretty much like he always has... People have choices.
Yeah, okay.
Consequences might be different, but, there's always choices. And there might have been other shooters, but he was the one that shot him and killed him.
Yeah, it was from his
There was contingencies probably after the fact in case, didn't quite work out.
So he shot Kennedy because he was a communist. At least that's what at the time, that's what they said. Is that what you think too?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with being a communist.
Okay, so why was Kennedy shot?
Oh, because I think something to do with the mob or something like that.
There it is. That's what I was looking for.
I skimmed over this one, and obviously over time I've seen things throughout my life about Kennedy, because it's always a spicy meatball in people's eyes. But I'm just like, I'm pretty sure he was doing things to make the mob angry. Like he was reforming laws to where they'd be harder to. So
Robert Kennedy was really the one who was involved in that, but of course they were pretty close, those two. So
you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Jack and Bobby. So the idea that they would turn into the anti-mob administration was a real fear.
Yeah.
For the mob. And the mob at the time this is peak mob. This is being in the mob time. This is,
No respect.
Yeah. So, it could have been the mob. I think it was the CIA. And here's why I think it was the CIA. So the Bay of Pigs happens earlier. And Kennedy was against the Bay of Pigs. The CIA said, no, we have to do this, we have to do this. Bay of Pigs was a plan orchestrated by the CIA to use Cubans in Florida to invade Cuba and take over and install a pro-American government. That was the Bay of Pigs. It fails terribly. There's mud on Kennedy's eye. He has to apologize to the nation. He takes complete responsibility. And from that point on, him and his CIA are not on the same page. If you're in the CIA at this time in the world, you believe you're doing the most important work.
Well, doesn't everyone think they're doing the most important work? No matter what you're doing in life, what you're doing, you feel is vastly important.
Well, look, clearly this is the most important work on earth that I'm doing right now.
We're saving American lives.
Yes, this is the most important. But number two, if you were in the CIA in the 60s, you thought it was good versus evil, the United States versus Soviet Union, our way of life versus
democracy versus communism.
Right. And the idea that this Kennedy kid is going to come in here and just toss us away with all of our theories and all of the work that we've done and ruin all of our plans. Fuck that. We're going to make sure that this is not a problem for us anymore.
We got someone in backup that agrees with us.
Yeah. That one feels kind of right.
So knowing the CIA, they probably got with the mobsters, let them off on some things, and the mobsters had Oswald? Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Shoot Kennedy. And then didn't Oswald die somehow in jail?
No, he was shot being transferred.
Yeah.
On camera. There's a camera on them when he gets shot.
And then the person that shot him also died in custody.
Yeah.
Lots of things that...
Lots of stuff there that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, no, it makes sense. It just... Well, how does things like that happen?
Well, if there's a conspiracy, that would be how it happened.
But let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
In the Central America world, I'm putting Cuba in that Central.
Okay, fair enough.
Has the CIA done anything right?
No, they haven't. Well,
I want to say like Europe and like Middle East. I'm sure they do a great job because they don't. I'm not saying they don't, but it doesn't seem to be as much failed plans. Yeah. Like, let's arm drug dealers with guns so they can overthrow this government to, like, what's that supposed to do?
Yeah, well, the CIA would say, of course, you don't hear about our victories, only our mistakes. Because
I get that.
Yeah, but that's what they would say. And I would say, well, tell me about a couple of victories. Just let me know. A couple times. 9/11.
Like, when you declassify stuff, can you be like... Thank you, CIA, at the top, bold letters, please.
Yeah, you would go a lot way to creating trust if we knew that, because all we see is a series of fuck-ups, CIA. That's all we ever see.
Like, you started the Cold War. Like, let us know the good things you did.
Yeah, give us a little bit of something, because all we've got now is Kennedy, 9/11, CIA keeps failing.
The war on drugs.
The war on drugs.
All your fault.
Yeah, Oliver North and that whole thing.
It's crazy.
Iran-Contra, yeah. All of it is.
I sometimes think maybe there's too many agencies. Is that a conspiracy? Like, what's the word? Like a
Onwards again.
Stupid words. I swear my English degree is in the mail. My public speaking degree, closely followed by that one.
Yep. Doctor.
Compartmentalize.
There it is.
So, like, this agency does this, agency does this, which is, I guess, another reason why 9/11 happens, because the CIA was tracking 2 of the hijackers into the country. Apparently, they even lived with some FBI informants. And, like, the CIA know that they had some bad intentions, but they were trying to recruit them, but didn't tell the FBI when they became, like, on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
I don't understand the lack of communication. Like, I feel like the less walls between agencies, the more communication, because everyone wants victory.
Yeah.
But I don't know why the CIA cares about the victories, because we never hear about them.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can claim it.
So
it doesn't make... It should all just be like one central information agency. So the CIA should just be like the FBI, the CIA,
Homeland Security.
I
think you got them all.
There's one other one that I'm missing.
Coast Guard? I don't know. Coast Guard's all
they're Homeland. Like they're throwing in with Homeland.
Yeah.
The DEA.
Okay. Yeah.
Drug enforcement. Yeah. Things like I knew I was missing one. I was like, there's an agency out there that I'm missing.
Yeah. The DEA in South America. Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
Anything, that's why we need a wall, because just to keep CIA from going south. We don't need a wall to keep Mexicans out. We need the wall to keep CIA in.
Yeah. You're right.
It's crazy.
I'm going to hope that, look, I don't want to be audited, so let me say right now, CIA,
IRS is great.
I'm a fan of all government agencies. This was all an act. I'm a really terrific actor. But When you give any one agency too much power, or when you separate power among too many agencies, you have the same problem.
It's just not enough oversight, I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess it's just oversight, but some things require like real-time decision making. So like, I don't know, like there should just be constant.
I know in every action movie they always have an argument about jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That's not your jurisdiction. It's my jurisdiction, and they, everybody pulls it out, and you're the biggest.
My addiction.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know how to run a government agency like the CIA, but I can tell you right now, there needs to be communication.
Yeah, I don't get like. Well, no, I want the victory. You can't have the victory. It's my victory. But they're in America now.
Yeah, we'll just call it an American victory.
You can't. Apparently, you can't operate on American soil for. That makes no sense why an American agency can't operate on American soil.
Well, you don't want the CIA. Well, I guess they are. I mean, they are listening in to shit, so.
Well, that's the NSA.
Yeah.
I did miss one. I missed a couple.
You did. You missed the NSA. Yeah.
They're the ones that are listening on all the telecommunications.
Right.
Sorry.
Data collection.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Is that a conspiracy that they're listening to every phone call?
It's not, because it's been proven.
Yeah.
We know.
Thanks, Snowden.
Yep. Most people are fine with it. Most people don't care. Yeah. You will care eventually.
Well, because the average citizen, like, they just live their lives. They don't do anything worth.
See, here's the thing. Right now, no one's using this against you. But there is somebody in the world right now, probably, I don't know, we'll call it China.
Arkansas.
Right?
We're going to call it Arkansas.
Fucking Arkansas. Someone in Arkansas right now is figuring out how to use this against you. Right now, nobody has done it. But this is way too much information, way too powerful, for someone out there who's got an evil plan. And that's when it's going to suck. And that's when everyone's going to say, why did we let this happen? And then they all say, because no one listened to me. I'm the smartest one. I figured it all out.
I'm a genius!
Conspiracy done.
I can't think of any more conspiracies.
No, I'm all conspiracied out.
Hitler.
Oh,
we forgot about Hitler.
Yes.
On how apparently he didn't die when they found him in his little compound. It was a body double, but then they never found his body. So the conspiracy is like, if you never found his body and you concluded that the body you did find was
a double,
he's still alive. He's probably not alive today, but he was alive, let's say, in 46.
Yeah. I get why this exists, because there's no bigger
there's no bigger boogeyman than Hitler.
Exactly.
He is the boogeyman of all time.
The idea of him just offing himself in a basement doesn't make sense, because if he was the guy with the shouting and that's not how that guy goes down.
Yeah, he's the guy that was behind the deaths of millions upon millions of people.
Yes.
And that's another the Holocaust deniers.
Yeah, there's another one. Oh, those people are worse than Alex Jones.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That Holocaust denial thing. Mel Gibson's dad, I think.
I don't.
Why?
Like, people were still alive today that were there.
They survived it. They have numbers on their arms.
They saw the tattoos.
Yes.
It's just like,
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Like, and the Nazis actually took meticulous records of all of that crap.
They were very good at record keeping. That I will give to them. That, and they were really pretty good at propaganda. Which is why we don't believe Hitler died in a bunker, because of all the propaganda about him.
Yeah.
He considered himself close to
that was self-caused propaganda from after the fact, because his shot-up face didn't quite look like the pictures, and so they were like, that's a body double. Well, then where's the real body?
Yeah.
South America.
South America is what they always say.
That Nazi town, I forget where.
Is it Argentina?
It's Arkansas.
Arkansas, right.
No.
Argentina. Well, aren't they kind of the same thing? Okay. Yeah, and there were a lot of Nazis that escaped and were hanging out down there. So I can understand, all of that adds to this idea. But,
Yeah. I just, it makes me sleep better at night knowing that he just offed himself.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to choose to believe.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't what he said he was, for certain.
Are you ever?
No. I've admitted to having science degrees and
No, they're in the mail.
Yeah.
They're not certified.
This is one of the men one of the biggest monsters in human history. If you heard that Genghis Khan tripped and hit his head on a chair or something, that's how he died. You'd be like, that's not.
Someone somewhere is going to make up some story that makes it not. It's just what people want to do with icons. Like, they can't.
It's too big of a deal to have been such a small cause, which is the same thing as Lee Harvey Oswald. Here's JFK, who's this huge big deal.
We landed on the moon because of him.
Couldn't just be one guy who decided to buy a gun from an ad in a magazine and shoot the president of the United States. That can't be it. It's got to be all this other stuff.
It's got to be the CIA. It's got to be
Roswell aliens. Who cares? Once you get going, you can go forever with these.
And yeah, it's just
Hitler, if you're alive, which is probably not. We want you on the show. We'll get the exclusive Adolf Hitler. Now, I'm going to be pretty tough on you, okay?
I might put on my helmet.
Spartan helmet's going on. But yeah, comments, Adolf. Let us know.
And Joe back there, he'll have your back.
Joe's always got my back. Because I can see his. From the front.
And we're done.
That's it. We're done. That wasn't a bad one. I mean, how long was it?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
We discussed this last time.
Yeah, we did. I think that was an hour.
I'll go with like an hour and a half.